In the realm of high-flying luxury, where polished marble floors and the soft glow of pendant lights reflect an air of refined exclusivity, a story unfolds that challenges preconceived notions and unveils the true meaning of resilience and justice. In a bustling private jet terminal, a space where executives in tailored suits and socialites with designer luggage glide effortlessly through corridors of quiet opulence, a moment of tension and revelation is about to occur. Here, amidst the gentle hum of jet engines and the refined murmur of conversations, a determined black businesswoman named Sophia Langston steps into the scene, with a presence that commands attention, without uttering a single word. Sophia's entrance is unassuming yet formidable. Dressed in a simple yet striking navy blazer, paired with wide-legged trousers, her natural curls frame a face set in quiet determination. Her almond-shaped eyes, sharp and warm in equal measure, reveal a woman who needs no ostentatious accessories. A sleek leather carry-on and a tablet are all she requires to project the success she has earned through years of perseverance. For Sophia's subtlety is the ultimate expression of power. Her achievements are evident in every carefully chosen detail, and she carries herself with a calm confidence that speaks louder than any boastful proclamation. As she approaches the check-in desk, a young attendant in a polished uniform greets her with an eager smile and a courteous, "Good morning, ma'am. May I assist you?" In a measured tone, Sophia replies, "Yes, thank you. I'm here for the Langston flight to Geneva." A quick glance at the attendant's screen confirms her identity. "Of course, Miss Langston. Everything is in order. Your jet is being prepared and the captain will meet you shortly." With a small nod, Sophia steps aside and allows her gaze to wander across the terminal. Her upcoming flight is more than just a journey. It is the culmination of countless hours of hard work and determination, and a crucial step toward a business deal that could expand her luxury goods company into the European market. Not long after her arrival, a man in a crisp pilot's uniform crosses the terminal. Broad-shouldered and confident in his step, Captain Todd Benson approaches with the outward appearance of professionalism, yet beneath the veneer of courtesy lies a hint of disdain, a flicker in his eyes that betrays his assumptions. As he nears, Sophia turns to face him. "Captain Benson, I presume?" she says, extending her hand. Todd's grip is firm, but the way he briefly glances at her hand and then at her entire presence suggests an unspoken judgment. "Miss Langston, I take it," he replies, his tone polite but his eyes scanning her with an air of condescension. Sophia, ever perceptive, recognizes that look. A narrowing of the eyes, a slight curl at the corner of his mouth. "That's correct," she confirms steadily, her voice unwavering. "I trust everything is ready for our departure?" Todd hesitates for a moment, glancing at the check-in attendant as if to verify her statement. Yes, though I must say, we don't often see private clients such as yourself," he remarks, each syllable laden with implication. Sophia raises an eyebrow, her calm voice edged with quiet defiance. "Wow, clients such as myself?" Todd merely shrugs, a smirk briefly playing on his lips as he continues, "You know, it's just uncommon. Most of our private jet owners are, well, they're a little different." The check-in attendant's smile falters as the tension in the air thickens, yet Sophia remains composed. "Different?" she repeats softly, her tone even as she crosses her arms. "Captain Benson, let's be clear. I am not only present, but I am also the sole owner of this aircraft. If there's an issue, please state it plainly." For an instant, Todd's smirk disappears, replaced by a tight-lipped expression. "No issue," he mutters, though his tone implies otherwise. "I'll get the pre-flight checks done." As he turns to walk away, Sophia's firm voice stops him. "Captain?" He pauses, then glances back. "Be sure you're fully prepared," she declares evenly. "I have no tolerance for unprofessionalism." With that, his jaw tightens, and despite a stiff nod, he retreats, leaving Sophia to exhale slowly as her fingers tighten around her carry-on. This is not the first time her presence has been questioned. It is an all-too-familiar reminder that in many refined circles, prejudice lingers beneath the surface. Today, however, she refuses to allow ignorance or bias to derail her plans. Glancing at her watch, she notes that her jet will be ready soon, and with it, another battle she is determined to win. Sophia moves toward the private lounge with purpose, her heels clicking deliberately against the pristine marble floors. The lounge, designed as an oasis of tranquility for the ultra-wealthy who prize discretion above all else, exudes an air of exclusivity with its plush leather seating, subtle ambient lighting, and the comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Yet today, to Sophia, the luxurious surroundings feel like nothing more than a polished veneer, hiding a far more insidious reality. Settling into a chair by a large window, she places her carry-on beside her and takes out her tablet, reviewing the final details of her presentation for the Geneva meeting. Even as her mind focuses on the crucial business ahead, she cannot entirely shake the memory of her unsettling encounter with Captain Benson, a moment that reminds her how easily prejudice can masquerade as politeness. Moments later, the attendant who had greeted her earlier approaches again. Her smile remains intact, though there is a trace of unease in her manner. "Ms. Langston?" she asks softly, clasping her hands. "May I offer you something to drink while you wait? Coffee, tea, or perhaps a glass of water?" Sophia looks up from her tablet, her expression softening as she notes the young woman's nervousness. "A coffee would be lovely, thank you," she replies gently. As the attendant, whose name is soon revealed to be Clara, turns to fetch her beverage, Sophia's eyes drift once more toward the tarmac outside. There, her jet, a sleek marvel of engineering with a metallic exterior gleaming in the sunlight, stands as a testament to her hard-won achievements. Every rivet and every wingtip speaks to the years of relentless effort that have brought her to this very moment. Her reverie is interrupted by the buzzing of her phone. Glancing at the screen, she sees the name Leonard Hayes flashing in bold letters. A faint smile tugs at her lips as she answers, "Leonard." His deep, jovial voice fills the line. "I take it you're calling with good news?" he inquires. "Always, Leonard. I just wanted to confirm that everything's in place for the Geneva meeting. The partners are eager and I'm confident they'll be impressed," Sophia explains, though a shadow of irritation briefly crosses her mind when she thinks of Todd Benson. "I may have to handle a small complication before we take off," she adds cautiously. Leonard's tone shifts immediately to concern. "A complication?" he echoes. "What kind of complication?" Sophia leans back, her gaze fixed on the gleaming jet outside. "Let's just say our captain harbors some very preconceived notions about who belongs in this terminal," she replies. Leonard sighs heavily. "Do you want me to step in?" he offers. "No, I can manage. But please be on standby, ready to back me up if things escalate," Sophia instructs firmly. Leonard's prompt reply reassures her. "Always just say the word." After ending the call, she sets her phone down and returns her gaze to the aircraft, a symbol of her triumphs now transformed into a battleground against bias. Not long after, Clara reappears, carefully balancing a tray with a steaming cup of coffee and a small dish of sugar cubes. "Here you go, Mom," she says, setting the tray down with practiced grace. "Thank you, Clara," Sophia replies warmly, offering a small smile in gratitude. As Clara turns to leave, Sophia adds, "And Clara, if you ever face a situation where someone questions your worth or your place, do not let them intimidate you. Remember, you are worth far more than their narrow perceptions." Clara's face lights up with a mixture of surprise and gratitude, and she nods, softly promising, "I will, ma'am." Once the attendant has departed, Sophia takes a measured sip of her coffee, its warmth steadying her resolve. Though Todd Benson's attitude is directed at her, it reflects a much larger issue, a persistent prejudice that she has encountered time and again. Today, however, she is determined that his behavior will not go unanswered. Within minutes, a commotion at the far end of the lounge draws Sophia's attention. Todd Benson has returned, his expression now stern as he speaks to another uniformed staff member. Although the words he exchanges are inaudible, the tension is palpable. The staff member nods uneasily as Todd gestures toward the jet. Setting her coffee cup down, Sophia rises and smooths the fabric of her blazer. It is time to confront the storm head-on. With deliberate, measured steps, she walks toward Todd. His expression darkens as he sees her approaching. "Miss Langston," he begins in a clipped tone, "I was just making final preparations for the flight." Sophia tilts her head slightly, studying him with calm intensity. "I see," she replies coolly. "And do these preparations include questioning my authority as the owner of this aircraft?" Todd stiffens, his jaw clenching. I don't know what you mean," he stammers. Sophia steps closer, her voice lowering to a level that demands attention. "Oh, I think you do, Captain Benson. I suggest you choose your next words carefully, for how you proceed will determine whether or not you remain employed by the time this jet leaves the tarmac." For a brief moment, Todd's confidence, once as impenetrable as armor, crumbles. His expression shifts between indignation and uncertainty, the once smooth confidence now appearing brittle under the weight of her unwavering gaze. Behind him, another crew member fidgets uncomfortably, eyes darting between the two figures. Sophia's stance is unyielding, her voice calm yet laden with authority. "I have dealt with men who mistake privilege for power and entitlement for competence," she says, her words slicing through the thick silence like a gauntlet thrown at his feet. "I am not here to be questioned, belittled, or treated as if I do not belong. I have provided the necessary documentation, and my presence here is fully authorized. Had you any legitimate concerns, you would have addressed them professionally, not with dismissive remarks and veiled insults." The other crew member takes a hesitant step back, clearly uncomfortable as he becomes an unwilling witness to this confrontation. Todd's face reddens as he tries to protest, his voice rising slightly. "I don't appreciate being accused of something I didn't do," he says defensively. "I treat all my clients with respect." Sophia arches an eyebrow, a faint incredulous smile curving her lips. "Respect? Is that what you call questioning my ownership? Refusing to believe that I belong here and making condescending comments about my background?" she asks, her tone icy. "If this is your version of respect, Captain, I would hate to see what the alternative looks like." Her words strike him like a hammer. For a moment Todd searches the room for an ally, but the terminal staff avert their eyes, leaving him isolated. The private lounge grows quiet, the earlier hum of conversation giving way to an oppressive silence as everyone senses the escalating tension. "I'm simply following protocol," Todd mutters defensively, his voice strained. "There is no need to make this personal." Sophia steps even closer, closing the gap between them with an air of magnetic calm. "Oh, but it is personal, Captain," she declares. "It became personal the moment you decided I did not fit into your preconceived notions of who should own a private jet. Let me be absolutely clear. I will not tolerate being treated as less than anyone else in this terminal, not by you and not by anyone." For the briefest of moments, Todd's bravado falters, his eyes betraying the vulnerability beneath his carefully constructed facade. However, he quickly masks his discomfort, straightening his shoulders and attempting a more formal tone. "Miss Laxton, I assure you this is all a misunderstanding. I will see to it that your flight proceeds smoothly." For a long, charged moment, Sophia regards him with eyes that seem to see right through the cracks in his facade. "I will hold you to that," she finally says, her voice as sharp as steel, yet wrapped in silk. "Understand that I am reporting this incident to your superiors. Should you think you can dismiss this as a mere misunderstanding, you are sorely mistaken." Todd's jaw tightens once more, and with a curt nod, he concedes. "Understood." Without looking back, Sophia turns on her heel and walks back toward the lounge, her every step measured and purposeful. She does not need to glance over her shoulder. Every eye in the room is fixed on her, a silent acknowledgement of the point she has made. Yet the tension still simmers, unresolved. Returning to her seat, Sophia picks up her tablet. Though her focus is now on the details of her presentation, her mind replays the confrontation with Todd over and over, analyzing each detail. The pilot's hostility is not an isolated incident. It is a symptom of a broader issue, a manifestation of prejudice that she has battled throughout her career. As she sips the now lukewarm coffee, her phone buzzes with a text from Leonard. "Leonard, everything okay? Want me to step in?" She reads with a faint smile, appreciating his support. Quickly she types a reply. "I've handled it for now, but keep your phone close. I may need you to intervene if this escalates." Leonard's response is immediate, as steadfast as ever. "Always call me if you need backup." Sophia sets her phone down, exhales deeply, and centers herself. She cannot afford to let Todd's behavior distract her from the larger goal, a critical deal in Geneva that stands as a milestone for her company. Meanwhile, Clara returns once more, balancing a tray with a steaming cup of coffee and a small dish of sugar cubes. "Here you go, Mum," she says, placing the tray on the table with practiced grace. "Thank you, Clara," Sophia replies warmly, offering a small smile of gratitude. As Clara moves to leave, Sophia adds, "And if you ever face a situation where someone questions your worth or your place, do not let them intimidate you. Remember, you are worth far more than their narrow-minded opinions." Clara's face lights up with a mixture of surprise and gratitude as she nods emphatically. "I promise, Ma'am," she replies softly. With that reassurance lingering in the air, Sophia takes another sip of her coffee, its warmth a small comfort amid the ongoing storm of prejudice. For Sophia, Todd Benson's behavior is not merely a personal affront. It is emblematic of a much larger systemic problem that she has encountered time and again. Today, however, she refuses to allow his narrow view to derail her plans. Every moment in the lounge, every hushed whisper, only strengthens her resolve. She returns to her tablet and re-engages with the task at hand, though her mind still churns with memories of earlier moments. Even as the lounge's ambient chatter resumes and glasses clink softly in the background, an undercurrent of tension remains, a reminder that the battle is far from over. Before long, a terminal staff member approaches Sophia with a polite but slightly nervous demeanor. "Miss Langston," the attendant says, "your jet is ready for boarding. Would you like me to escort you to the gate?" Sophia nods gracefully, rising from her seat. "Thank you," she replies, picking up her carry-on as she moves purposefully toward the gate. As she nears the jet, she notices Todd standing by the jet stairs with a stormy expression. Despite his earlier acquiescence, it is clear he has not let the matter rest. Summoning her inner resolve, Sophia steels herself and closes the distance between them. "Captain Benson," she says evenly, her voice carrying a calm authority, "are we ready to proceed?" Todd's jaw tightens, but he nods stiffly. "The jet is ready," he states curtly. With a brief, unwavering glance, Sophia gestures toward the stairs. "Adieu," she instructs. Though Todd hesitates, disliking the notion of being ordered around, he finds no reasonable excuse to delay any further. With stiff, mechanical movements, he ascends the stairs. Sophia follows him, her face remaining unreadable as she enters the jet. Inside, the air is cool and serene, a stark contrast to the tension that has marred the terminal moments before. The luxurious interior of the aircraft provides a brief respite as the engines roar to life and the jet begins its taxi toward the runway. As the powerful engines propel the aircraft forward, Sophia allows herself a moment of reflection. She has won this round, but she is acutely aware that the true victory will come from ensuring that incidents like this never occur again, not to her, and not to anyone else who dares challenge outdated expectations. As the jet lifts off the tarmac, the weight of the confrontation begins to lift, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. Sophia is not merely flying to Geneva for a business meeting, she is soaring toward a future in which prejudice has no place in the skies or anywhere else. The clouds outside part to reveal an endless expanse of blue, a vivid reminder of the limitless possibilities awaiting those who refuse to be constrained by the limitations imposed by others. A gentle smile crosses her lips as she leans back in her seat, knowing that justice, however delayed, is always just a matter of time. At cruising altitude, the hum of the engines becomes a steady, soothing backdrop to the luxurious calm of the cabin. Seated by the window, Sophia watches the endless expanse of clouds below, each one a silent testament to the resilience required to overcome obstacles. The memory of the confrontation with Todd lingers not as a source of anger, but as a powerful reminder of the work that still lies ahead. With a deliberate sip from her glass of sparkling water, she contemplates the day's events. This trip to Geneva is not just about expanding her company. It is about proving once again that she belongs in spaces that many have long assumed were closed off to people like her. Her phone vibrates softly on the armrest, pulling her attention away from the view. The screen lights up with the name Leonard Hayes, and a faint smile plays on her lips as she answers. "Leonard," she greets him warmly. "I take it you're calling with an update?" Leonard's familiar voice, warm yet laced with concern, responds promptly, "Of course, Sophia. I can't sit still when there's any sign of drama." Sophia chuckles softly, the tension easing just a bit. "Well, the situation has been addressed, for now at least. We're in the air and the pilot is no longer an immediate problem." Leonard's tone shifts, growing serious. I don't like the sound of "for now." What exactly happened? Sophia recounts the morning's events in a calm, measured tone, detailing Todd's behavior and the confrontation that ensued. Leonard listens intently, every so often interjecting with a hum of disapproval. When she finishes, he exhales deeply. "You handled that with your usual grace, Sophia," he says, "but I can't believe he had the audacity to question you like that." Sophia agrees, her voice steady. It is infuriating, and yet, it's not entirely new. People like Todd exist in every industry. The important thing is holding them accountable. Leonard's admiration is evident as he adds, "And that's why I've always said you'd make a hell of a lawyer. You never back down." A faint smile crosses her face as she replies, "I fight because I must, both for myself and for everyone who's ever been made to feel like they don't belong." As the conversation winds down, the flight attendant, a young man with a professional yet slightly nervous demeanor, approaches her seat. "Miss Langston?" he asks softly, hands clasped in front of him. "Is there anything else I can get for you? More water perhaps, or a snack?" Sophia looks up at him, her expression softening as she senses the lingering unease born from earlier events. "Water will be fine, thank you," she replies warmly. The attendant nods briskly and retreats, though not before she notices the careful politeness in his tone, a reminder of how difficult it can be to navigate moments charged with tension and prejudice. After a short while, the attendant returns with a fresh glass of water. Seizing the opportunity to bridge the silence, Sophia asks gently, "And what's your name?" The young man hesitates for a fraction of a second before answering, "Marcus, ma'am." "Thank you, Marcus," she says, taking the glass. "Your professionalism today hasn't gone unnoticed. I know it hasn't been the easiest morning." Marcus's eyes light up with a hint of relief, and he replies, "It's part of the job, ma'am." His voice, though measured, carries a note of gratitude that touches her heart. "It may be part of the job," she says softly, "but it doesn't make it any less challenging when you're dealing with situations like this. Just know that your efforts are appreciated." Marcus nods, a small smile appearing as he steps away. As Sophia watches him leave, a flicker of hope stirs within her. Not everyone turns away from injustice. Some, like Marcus, navigate these turbulent moments with quiet dignity, even when it is not their fight to begin with. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, Todd Benson sits rigidly, his hands gripping the controls with an intensity that belies his inner turmoil. He has flown hundreds of flights and dealt with countless high-profile clients, yet none have ever made him feel as cornered as Sophia has today. His mind churns with a mix of frustration and unease, and for the first time he is forced to confront the gravity of his actions. A sudden chime from the intercom snaps him out of his thoughts. An incoming message from Elite Aviation's headquarters blares through the cockpit speakers. Todd exchanges a quick glance with his co-pilot, who raises an eyebrow but says nothing. With a press of a button, Todd accepts the call. A firm, no-nonsense voice speaks from the other end. "Captain Benson, this is Michael Connors, CEO of Elite Aviation. We have received a formal report regarding your conduct this morning." Todd stiffens, tightening his grip further. "Mr. Connors, I can explain. I will have the opportunity to explain during a formal inquiry." The CO's voice cuts him off. "Consider this a direct order. Upon landing in Geneva, you are to report to the local office for an immediate review. Until then, conduct yourself with the utmost professionalism." Todd swallows hard, his face paling as he mutters, "Yes, sir." The call ends abruptly, leaving a heavy silence in the cockpit. For the first time, the weight of true accountability presses down on him, and his thoughts race as he contemplates the consequences of his actions. Unaware of the unfolding drama in the cockpit, Sophia remains in her seat, her focus alternating between her presentation on the tablet and the recent confrontation. The numbers and projections offer a tangible grounding in the results of her hard work, yet her mind occasionally drifts back to the incident with Todd. A reminder that the barriers she faces are not only external, but deeply embedded in the attitudes of those around her. Each step forward is a victory not just for herself, but for every person who has ever been underestimated. As the jet hums softly, carrying her toward a future she has labored tirelessly to build, Sophia's quiet determination deepens. She knows that the battle is not over, that there is still much work to be done to dismantle the prejudices that seek to confine her, The descent into Geneva is smooth and graceful, the jet gliding effortlessly through crisp mountain air. Outside, the Alps rise majestically in the distance, their snow-capped peaks stark against a clear blue sky, symbols of resilience and permanence. As the aircraft touches down with a gentle bump on the tarmac, Sophia feels a sense of closure, yet she is fully aware that this is only another step in her journey. A sleek black car awaits her on the tarmac, a small but powerful reminder of the life she has built through determination and grit. The drive through Geneva is an evocative blend of old-world charm and modern elegance. Cobblestone streets wind alongside historic architecture, while sleek office buildings and high-end boutiques speak to a vibrant cosmopolitan present. Inside the car, Sophia relaxes into the leather seat, her thoughts shifting from the turbulence of the day to the critical meeting ahead. As she arrives at the conference center, she is greeted by Leonard, whose broad smile and easy demeanor provide a welcome reprieve from the day's earlier strife. "You made it, Sophia," he says, embracing her briefly. "Barely, it seems," she replies with a wry smile, though her eyes reflect both relief and determination. Leonard's expression grows serious as he adds, "I've heard from the aviation company's CEO. Rest assured they're taking the incident very seriously. Todd Benson will not be flying under their banner much longer." Sophia nods, her expression calm but resolute. "It's all about accountability," she affirms, "not just for him but for anyone who thinks they can treat others as less than they are." Leonard's voice carries admiration as he replies, "That's right, and if anyone can ensure that change happens, it's you." The meeting in Geneva turns out to be a resounding success. Sophia's presentation captivates the audience, securing a crucial partnership that will expand her company into exciting new markets. Yet, even as the business triumph unfolds, her thoughts are not solely on profits or growth. They are on the quiet victories of the day. Todd Benson's actions serve as a stark reminder of the prejudice that still exists, but the swift response from elite aviation and her own unwavering resolve have turned the tide. Justice, she realizes, is not about retribution. It is about creating meaningful change and ensuring that future generations never have to fight the same battles. Later that evening, as the lights of Geneva twinkle outside her hotel window, Sophia allows herself a moment of reflection. The day has been challenging, yet it stands as a testament to her strength and determination. She is not merely flying toward her dreams, she is soaring above the obstacles that society has long tried to impose upon her. As she prepares for a brief rest, her phone buzzes with a message from Leonard. "You handled today with your usual brilliance. Proud of you. Dinner tomorrow?" A faint smile graces her lips as she types back, "Thank you, Leonard. Yes, dinner sounds perfect." Setting the phone aside, she feels a deep sense of peace settle over her. Though the battle is not entirely over, she has won this day, and tomorrow she will continue to fight, not just for herself, but for everyone who deserves to fly as high as their dreams can take them. In the weeks that follow, a memo circulates within elite aviation announcing Todd Benson's dismissal and the implementation of new diversity and sensitivity training for all staff. The incident with Sophia Langston becomes not a scandal but a turning point, a case study in accountability and change. Her story, though personal, becomes an unspoken example throughout the industry of how resilience and justice can dismantle even the most deeply ingrained prejudices. For Sophia, it is a reminder that the sky is not the limit. It is only the beginning. As the story concludes, a clear message emerges: prejudice and ignorance will always face accountability. Sophia's determination has not only secured her rightful place in the world of private aviation, but it has also sparked a ripple of change that promises to make a difference for everyone who dares to dream beyond imposed limitations. If this story has inspired you, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications for more powerful narratives that challenge stereotypes, highlight resilience, and celebrate justice. Thank you for watching and for joining us on this journey, where every flight, every encounter, and every hard-won victory reminds us that true strength lies in standing up for what is right. The battle against prejudice is ongoing, and every act of courage, every word spoken in the name of justice, helps pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future in the skies and beyond.